Sometimes you have a chance to become acquainted with someone whose courageous acts can change your life view. This little girl speaks courage to me. With me today is Miss Caitlin Herron and her mom, Kelly Lee. Thank you both so much for coming today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
So, what happened when you heard the news? What was your first reaction when you found out about Caitlin's illness?
To be honest, it was so unreal. I felt an out-of-body experience because when she had that tumor, we never thought sarcoma, leukemia. We just thought, how are they going to surgically remove this and not scar her? And then when Dr. Firmino did a biopsy, and then Dr. Karras told us that your daughter has leukemia, but not just any leukemia. It's one of the rarest and most aggressive form of leukemia. And it wasn't until 1980 that her type of blood cancer had a name, BPDCN. Do you want to say the long name?
Blastic plasmatoid dendritic cell neoplasm.
And it was previously known as the natural killer. So we went home, and I remember not sleeping for 3 days. I was on the internet reading anything and everything that I could. There was no literature on pediatric because it's predominantly in older men between the ages of 60 to 70.
Oh my goodness.
And it was what I consistently remember reading was, if the disease doesn't kill you, the treatment will. So that was something that was consistent with all the literature, and just as a mom, you know.
Of course you didn't believe that.
No,
you knew that was
you know, still.
That was older men.
My heart just broke, and I remember City of Hope had a pediatric picnic, and I had read all these things, and we didn't have another appointment with Dr. Karras, and we saw her, and I remember just pinning her to a corner and trying to get a statistic, just have some number. Has anyone survived this? What are the chances? And, you know, she just kept telling me, we're going to do everything we can, but to our knowledge, no one has survived this. But we're going to try something different. And I wanted statistics. Is she going to survive this? What are the chances? And I just remember there was no answer. I left with a lot of hope because I know we were in a great place. I mean, as soon as we got to the City of Hope, there was just a sense of calmness. Like, these doctor and this place is going to do their best and take care of my daughter.
And when you found out, you just said, "This is not going to get the best of me. I'm going to take it on full force."
Yeah, actually, when they told me and my mom that I had BPDCN, Make-A-Wish was there, and after they told us all the bad news, the Make-A-Wish people said, well, the good news is you get a Make-A-Wish. So the whole ride home, I was just thinking of what I'm gonna wish for, and so I wasn't really fazed by it. My mom and my parents were fazed by it more than I was, but I just told myself that I would have to stay positive throughout the whole thing, and that's what I did.
And the thing that is most amazing to me is that coming out the other side of it, you've decided that you're going to spend your time helping other kids that are going through cancer treatment.
Yeah.
And that's what made you decide to do that?
Well, I just wanted to show kids that just because you have cancer doesn't mean you can't do things that other people can do. So I've been raising money, selling these t-shirts to donate to the City of Hope for their pediatric department.
And they can go to hashtag Team Caitlin and get a t-shirt? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then also I've been collecting toys for the children in the pediatric department at City of Hope also. And yeah.
And she's raised almost over $1,000
Wow.
for the
Light the Night Walk.
Light the Night Walk that's happening on November 4th.
And what is that, Light the Night Walk?
It's a walk for leukemia and lymphoma survivors. You basically get a team and you raise money for them, and then you just walk a mile.
And I understand you're running for political office.
Yeah, I am. Next year, I'm planning to run for president of 9th grade student council, and then I am running for the vice president of the honor society at my school this year.
So I guess politics is going to be in your future as well as advocacy. So now that you what's the message that you want to give someone if they get a diagnosis like that? What's the most important things that you want people to learn from your experience?
Stay positive and don't let anything bring you down, because I found that when I let something bring me down, it made it harder for me to look into the light and think that I would get through this. So
Because not every day is a fabulous day when you
Yeah.
have cancer. So, but staying positive and making sure you keep a good attitude
Yeah.
makes the journey easier, is
Yeah.
what you're saying. And what would you advise moms when they find out one of their kids has cancer? What are the things they should know?
For me personally, it was just looking at Caitlin. I mean, usually parents are the example, but she was my example. I remember she was throwing up, deathly ill after some of the chemo treatment. The whole body radiation was the worst, and she would be just in pain, and she would look up at me, and she knows how painful my heart was, and she just looked at me and she said, "I'm gonna be okay, Mom. I'm gonna be okay." So,
Courage. Courage in the
Yes.
face of your child suffering.
She really inspired me, because I can't imagine going through all of what she went through, and to say, to look at my family and say, "I'll be okay." So.
And I understand you have a little brother.
yeah, I have a little 6-year-old brother, and he's crazy.
And so, did he come to visit you when you were in the hospital?
He came to visit me quite a lot, but he didn't stay that long because.
And you were grateful.
Yes, I was. I missed my little arguments with him and stuff like that. So
when we get sweets, and he wants more of the sweets, he would look at me and he says, "Mama, I need to get more because Caitlin has cancer."
So a little manipulative.
But City of Hope is great. They have a child life specialist that walked him through the whole process and helped him to understand what cancer is all about.
So the thing about City of Hope that you're really bringing home is that they provide a lot of services to the family, and that you're not really alone when you're there. That they help you cope, they help families learn about how to live with cancer. They have a lot of opportunities to make people comfortable with the circumstances that they're living. Is that true?
Yes, and being able to trust your doctor and put your faith in your doctor. is really important. When we met Dr. Stein and Dr. Karras, it takes away a lot of the worries, you know, when you have so much confidence
Yeah.
in their knowledge.
They're the
and
top of the field. They have a personal relationship with you. They felt, you know, invested in your care. And you felt like they were people rooting for you, which I'm sure helps too when you're not feeling good.
Yeah.
And so I understand you got to meet Megan Trainor.
Yes, I did. That was gonna be my Make-A-Wish because she is one of my biggest idols. I love singing, and I really wanted to meet her.
And so Dr. Stein, who we just love, came in and visited Caitlin, and he asked me to come out, and he said, what do you think if Caitlin was to meet Megan Trainor? And I just went, are you serious? And he told us about his patient, one of his patients, Phil. His wife is a producer, and she may make this happen. And so we didn't let Caitlin know.
Yeah, it was a complete surprise.
I can't believe you kept the secret.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I promised Dr. Stein, and he made her wish come true with Barbara and Phil. And it wasn't through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It was, Barbara did not know us, Phil did not know us, and she worked tirelessly. I know that there was emails going back and forth. She even drove to the stadium where they were going to perform. It was amazing.
Wow.
And so I ended up meeting her at the We Can Survive concert last year, and it was awesome. She's very nice, and she also followed me on Instagram, so I was really happy about that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I guess what we've learned is that, you know, people who don't know you even will reach out and help you. You just have to put yourself in the position to be able to accept the help that's being offered.
Well, because of what Barbara did, Caitlin had a long journey to go from the time she met Megan Trainor to the end of her transplant. But just getting that wish made, she was just beaming for the longest time, and we still we tell this story to everyone that we know, a complete stranger working just tirelessly to make this little girl's wish come true. You know, as a mom, you want to, like, how can I make this little girl's wish come true? And here's someone who didn't even know us. So that in itself, it just, the human spirit's just awesome. It makes us feel so great to be in the U.S., City of Hope, and just have so many people who care.
Wow. Now that you're sort of on the other side of it, what is the one thing that you would say in terms of support, how people can support young people with leukemia and lymphoma? They can buy the t-shirts. Is there anything else that you would like to suggest?
Well, you know, like participating in Light the Night, there's walks, and there's unfortunately a patient in every community that is fighting cancer. And for us, having the community support us was so important. It helped us to realize that we're not alone. So I think anyone can make a difference, whether you see us wearing a t-shirt and stopping. We've had people to stop us, to talk to us about their battle with cancer, and it makes us feel so good that we're not alone in this fight. And especially for Caitlin and, you know, pediatric patients who are so young, and they shouldn't be facing this, but they are. Just to let them know that we're here to support them.
I noticed on your T-shirt that you have the name Alohilani. Who is that? And can you tell me a little about her?
So, about a month after I got admitted into the hospital to get my treatment, another little girl from Hawaii flew down. She had the same cancer, BPDCN, but it relapsed. She was diagnosed when she was 7, and it relapsed when she was 11 years old. And she went to the City of Hope because Dr. Stein was the head of a clinical trial called SL401, and that was the only other treatment that they knew of that could possibly help Alohi. Unfortunately, she passed away this past December, and
This is in honor of her.
yeah, she was the only other person I knew who had the same cancer as I did, and we were really close. She was like my little sister, so I was really sad when that happened. But when I finished transplant, we found out there was a girl, the only case in Australia who got diagnosed. Her name is Tamlin, and thankfully she is done with transplant and she is doing very well. So,
And she just made her 100-day post-transplant milestone.
which is big.
Yeah, this was just huge, and they talk very often
Oh, that's lovely.
on social media. So it's a small world.
Of course, young people talk on social
Yeah.
media, text. So that's fantastic. That's exciting news. I hope today you've been touched by the stories we have shared. These people have all been affected by great tragedies, but they have turned things around and worked towards making life better for everyone. People who understand as we do, it's up to you.